Handstand, half kick up, progressions. If you're an adult gymnastic skill seeker learning to handstand or looking to improve your kick up to handstands, you'll want to check this out. These half kick up progressions teach us the essential steps required to unlock the split kick up to handstand. Here's how it works. Let's start with the basic setup for the split kick ups. When learning to kick up to handstand, it can help to have a line on the floor as a point of reference. Start by placing your hands on the floor, roughly shoulder width apart, with the palms of the hands on the line and the index fingers pointing forward. It's best to bend the index and middle fingers to give you more control in catching and balancing of the handstand. Next, you want to twist your hands into the floor towards the pinky fingers. Notice how the elbow pits point forward. This creates shoulder external rotation and helps to keep the elbows locked. Next, the position of the front leg, or the kicking leg, will depend on your hamstring flexibility. The more flexible you are, the closer the foot will be to your hands and the easier kick-ups will be. Find what foot position works best for you and continue to work on your forward fold flexibility. When setting up for the kick-up, it helps to fix your eyes on a focus point. This is where the line on the floor can be super helpful. Find the center of the line between the palms of your hands and focus your eyes on that point. A common mistake is to flatten the back by lifting the chest and relaxing the shoulders. It's best to round the upper back by pulling the rib cage down towards the hips and protracting the shoulders by actively pushing down into the floor. Another common mistake is to have the shoulders positioned behind the hands, which leaves the weight in the palm of the hands. This won't help you unlock the kick up. You must lean the shoulders forward over the fingertips and position the weight in the first knuckle of the index finger. This will give you a lot more control in the kick up. The final part of the setup is to contract the quad and point the toes of the leading leg, the back leg. You must keep the back leg straight for the entire set. Often, people try to swing the lead leg to create momentum in the kick up, but this is a big mistake that often leads to lower back arching and poor handstand alignment. Instead, focus on contracting the glute of the rear leg and maintaining more of a hollow body shape. Use the front leg, the kicking leg, to lift the hips up and forward during the kick up. And this is the first progression. Keeping the back leg straight, focus on extending the knee of the kicking leg to lift the hips up and forward. In the beginning, the front foot doesn't need to leave the floor. The goal is to straighten the front leg and lift the hips up as high as possible. As you do this, keep the eyes fixed on the line, the shoulders elevated, and the elbows locked. It's best to pause for 3 to 5 seconds at the top of each rep with the kicking leg, the bottom leg, as straight as you can get it. Once you feel confident with the first progression, you can straighten the front leg with a little more force so that the front foot leaves the floor. This is progression number 2. When the foot leaves the floor, the goal is to have the kicking leg as straight as possible. Focus on contracting the quads and pointing the toes to straighten the leg as the foot pushes off the floor. Your hamstring flexibility will dictate how straight you can get this leg. As your confidence continues to grow, you'll gradually be able to kick higher with the goal of stacking the lead leg and the hips vertically above the wrists, elbows, and shoulders. This is the third and final progression. As the lead leg and the hips move closer to the vertical alignment, you must actively push down into the floor with the shoulders to open the shoulder angle and catch the split handstand with the legs as straight as possible. As your confidence continues to grow, you'll gradually be able to kick higher with the goal of stacking the lead leg and the hips vertically above the wrists, elbows, and shoulders. This is the third and final progression. As the lead leg and the hips move closer to the vertical alignment, you must actively push down into the floor with the shoulders to open the shoulder angle and catch the split handstand with the legs as straight as possible. During the entire process, the eyes stay fixed on the line, as this helps you find the balance point. Again, at no point should the elbows bend. The goal isn't to join the legs in this drill. The goal is to catch and balance the split stance. This is why it's called the half kick up. After holding the split handstand for 3 to 5 seconds, push through the fingers and wrists to move out of the balance point and return the feet to the floor. Learning to kick up to handstand is a skill that takes a lot of practice. At times, it can be frustrating. It can be helpful to video yourself performing half kick-ups so that you can check your form and make corrections. Often it feels like we're keeping the elbows locked or we're straightening the legs and opening the shoulders, but when we look back at the video, we can see what's really happening. This allows us to make corrections and improve our technique over time. Give it a try and see how you go. If you've got questions, please leave them in the comments. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.